The winter that year did not arrive gently. It came like a curse. The wind howled for days without rest, clawing at rooftops, burying doors, swallowing paths. Snow fell so heavily that the world outside vanished, and the village became nothing more than a memory beneath white silence. No one dared step outside. No one could. And somewhere in that endless storm, a girl was forgotten. Years later, Elin still remembered. She had been young then, small enough to believe that winters always ended and that missing friends would simply return. But that winter, it took something from her that never came back. It was nearly a month after the storm finally loosened its grip when Elin realized something felt wrong. "Have you seen Mira?" she had asked her mother one quiet evening. Her mother paused, then shook her head. No one had seen Mira. Not during the storm, not after. And suddenly the silence of the past weeks felt heavier than the snow itself. The next morning, Elin joined a small group of villagers as they made their way through the thick, melting drifts toward Mira's home at the far edge of the village. The house stood still. Too still. No footprints. No movement. No sound. Only a thin line of smoke curling slowly into the cold air from the chimney. "She must be inside," one of the men said, though his voice lacked certainty. They pushed the door open. It creaked softly. Inside, the house was empty. No overturned furniture. No signs of struggle. Just absence. And yet, the fire in the hearth was still alive, flickering, burning low but steady, as if someone had been feeding it. The men decided to search the woods nearby. "Elin, stay here," one of them said. "Keep the fire going." She nodded, though unease pressed tightly against her chest. The door shut behind them, and then she was alone. At first, there was nothing. Just the soft crackling of the fire. The quiet hum of a house that felt like it was holding its breath. Then, a voice. Soft. Fragile.
"I'm so cold."
Elin froze. The voice came again, barely louder than a whisper carried on dying embers.
"I'm so cold."
Her heart began to pound. Slowly. Very slowly, she turned toward the fireplace. And there stood Mira. She looked like a child shaped from winter itself. Her skin was pale, faintly frozen, as though the cold had seeped into her very bones. Her lips trembled, her eyes distant and glassy. She stood close to the fire. Too close, but she didn't seem to feel it. "Elin," she whispered. "I'm so cold." Elin's breath caught in her throat. This wasn't right. This wasn't how people looked. This wasn't how warmth worked. fire should have helped, but it didn't. It couldn't. Fear gripped her, sharp and sudden. "Aylin," Mira repeated, taking a slow step forward. That was enough. Aylin turned and ran. He burst out into the cold.
Wait! Please, come back! Don't go in there!
Her voice breaking as she called for help. The men came rushing back, alarmed by the panic in her cries. "She's inside," Ellen gasped. "Mira is inside." They didn't hesitate. They rushed in together. But the house was empty. Again. No girl, no footprints, no sound. Only the fire, still flickering softly in the hearth. They searched the woods. They called her name until their voices grew hoarse. But Mira was never found. Not that day. Not ever. Time moved on, as it always does. The snow melted, seasons changed, children grew. But Mira's house remained, empty, untouched, forgotten by most. Except it never truly was. Because sometimes, on the coldest nights, when the wind returns and the air feels too still, villagers notice something. A thin trail of smoke rising gently from the chimney, curling into the sky, as if a fire still burns inside, as if small hands still reach toward its warmth. And if you pass too close, you might hear it. A faint voice, soft, fragile, still waiting. "I'm so cold. I can't get warm."